Good day, crafty chums. It's Nikki here, and coming at you today with a little bit of a haul. Hey, crafty chums. It's Nikki here, and there again, we forgot to turn off our sound because I was just watching Elizabeth Brewer there opening a couple of bits of Happy Mail from people. And I thought I'd come on and see what my stream was like today. See whether it's my processor, my camera, or my internet to find out what's going on. And it looks okay. Oh no, does it look okay today? Am I pixelated? Just going to move a wire there. It doesn't seem to be the wire. So I'm just pressing a few buttons and having a look and see what's going on. And I can't figure it. I know that my one computer had slipped off my one my one internet line onto my phone line, so so that was that. But it seems to be okay today, doesn't it? Seems to be okay today. That's good. My left hand is on the left side, my right hand's on the right side, so that's all right. It's always good to have your left hand on the left and your right hand on the right. Here we go then. So I've got this teeny tiny haul, which is 2 paper pads. And so I was in the warehouse, which is a local cheap store. Hi, Susan. I look human. That's good. I'm not pixelated man or woman today. And sorry, my voice is gone. I don't know what's going on there. Let me just take a sip of herbal tea. Ooh. So yeah, so I was in the warehouse and look what I saw. That says Recollections. Now Recollections is Michael's, isn't it? So this is a Michael's brand of paper. It says distributed from Irving, Texas. So yeah, so I thought score a Michael's paper pad, but not just one. I got 2 Recollections. So all you Kiwis out there, if you see this in the warehouse, Recollections, that's a Michael's brand. I'm pretty positive it's a Michael's brand. So there you go. And I think it was $8. $8 a pad. It's a 6x6 pad. And $8, which I thought was a pretty cracking price for something from overseas. Yeah, 6x6. 6ers by 6ers. So I thought I'd just do a quick flick through of the paper pads. This is this one here. What's it say? North Pole Gazette. Gazette du Pole Nord. And so I thought this actually was a really good masculine type of paper pad, and it's coming up to Christmas and I'll be doing my Christmas cards really soon if I can get my A into G, and part of that is to get the paper pad, isn't it? Sorry if you see this is my lamp stand. I'm using my other lamp stand since I broke the one before, and I can't repair it, so I've got this one, which is my second reserve lamp stand. And it won't be at the picture to do the overhead. Anywho, so I thought these would be a nice masculine type of card paper to do cards with, and that's the reason why I got it. And just quick, you can get it at Michael's, but you don't know if it's Michael's. Michael's stock it, then yeah. Comes from Texas apparently, but made in China, obviously. Yeah, I thought Recollections was the Michael's brand, but maybe I'm wrong. So there you go, some pretty papers, and quite masculine. So cracking. Happy holidays, peace and joy. So look, cable knit sweaters. You may see me do a few cards in the next few weeks. Nice little I don't know what tag thingy on the corner there. What do they call them? I can't remember. Anywho, nice little plaid. Nice little bit of Christmassy stuff. And that was that. So that's see, look, it says 6 by 6 there. 24 sheets. This is single-sided, and this one is 24 sheets double-sided, but the same price. So what goes on there then? I don't know. I've no idea. Double-sided, double face, double face. Sugar Blush, this one is called, and banner. No, I think they're called like a, I don't know, it's like a collective name for tickets or something. Anywho, this one's called Sugar Blush, and it's pink, and there seems to be a lot of pink Christmas going on this year, so it must be the in colour. And this, as I say, is double-sided, so we'll flick to the back side and the main page. All is calm, all is bright, and it is not, even though it looks it, it's not foiled. So it looks foiled, but it's not foiled. Sweet street scene. So there's the back of that one there, which is like fur, and that says Merry and Bright. Or shall I say Merry, not Mary. Merry and Bright. So there's the back of that one, which is nice pinky pink. And of course the old nutcracker in the corner there. Don't suppose the camera's picking up pink very well. And some nice little cutouts there to go as card toppers. Kisses under the mistletoe, naughty, naughty. Make cute little card toppers. And good old Santa. And the back of that is whatever that is. Snowflakes. There you go. Upside down snowflakes. And that one says Bright, Bright, Bright. I wondered if a couple of these papers I can mix and match, you know, but we'll see. There's a photograph of marble on marbled top, marbling paper or something. Cutouts. I'm not so fond of when they do photographs. You know, not really my favourite thing. So I would use the back. I'd use the back. Oh, there we are, some nice pinky baubles. And some wood grain, which is always good. And then the photograph of baubles. As I say, the photograph bits just aren't my favourite. I don't know why. Don't like them. Each to their own, isn't it? So some nice pink mistletoe. Holly. Holly. Not mistletoe, holly. And then some sentiment sayings that you can like cut down and do as borders, wishing you warmth this Christmas. Just cut them up and make borders on your cards. Small pink fur. It is different, isn't it? I got a pinky Christmas tree 2 years ago, I think it was, and it's I don't know, it's like a foot tall or something. It's really small. 2 feet it may be, actually. It's really small and sits on a little table, and that's good enough for me. Don't really bother now. I only bother for the grandkids. So some stripy wallpaper effects there. See if I get some more light on this. The lights just go around the side of the house now, so this room gets a little bit dark. So if we let in more light. Santa Claus. Happy, merry, happy, jolly, special delivery. Always reminds me, when I see special delivery, it's like I'm always reminded of a baby. And of course, yay, mermaid. Yay, mermaid. So this looks like it should be foiled, but it's not. That's what the paper looks like to me anyway. And Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, fake Christmas tree, oh fake Christmas tree. That's a pink Christmas tree there, look. So that was my little paper pad hauls, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And then the other week I was very, very naughty. And I hauled myself one of these because it was on special offer. A little sidekick to sit on my desk so that I can run some little sentiments through and cut them out and that here. Because do you know what I have? I have a bit of a die. I have a little bit of a die fetish. I've got brush and pencil fetishes and pens, brush pens. I've got a lot of that, brush and pens and pencils. But I've also, I think, got a lot of dies because I've got 2 boxes worth. I've got 2 boxes worth, look. So yeah, and I thought, well, I make my Christmas cards, I'll obviously record a few, not too many because you'll get bored to pants with it, and get out some of my dies that I never use. Because I've got one here that says Christmas and happy Christmas. So I'll quickly show you my little bit of a die obsession, fetish, obsession. And as you can see, I've made my own little boards to go on there, and just bought some cheap magnetic paper, I don't know what, strips to go on there. And because it's really expensive if you buy the ones that come with it, which are these ones here, are really, really, really expensive to buy. So I thought I might as well make my own. So in this one here, got some really nice dies and that. Some old banner ones and a fan. This really, really makes a cute fan. A small and large fan. And of course the MFT tags and things and that. This box is so old it's cracked. It's cracked. So anyway, I thought I've MacGyvered a few of these pages. I don't know what you call them, sheets to go in myself. And so there you go. I've MacGyvered a few. I'm going to leave this one on top because it's got Merry Christmas on, and I'll need to die cut those out. And then when you get fed up of MacGyvering, yeah, they are nesting dolls, yeah. So when you get fed up of the MacGyvering to there, then what you do is you just like pop sheets in on their own. Because that's just as easy to do as anything else, isn't it? And I finished tidying this up a couple of days ago. So because they were just thrown in there and they were all over the place. So I thought, about time I tidied it up so I can see what I got, and then I can order some more. I've never used this one. I've tried, but I've actually never got to use it. But it's just an embossing one, and I've never used it. This I use a lot in my butterflies, so they can go to the top, can't they? Hi, Roz. So and then this is the other one, and as you can see, did I MacGyver any of these? I think I did. So I've got some more here. I got this cheap the other day, and because I've got a couple of relatives that sew a lot, so it might be a nice thing to put on a card or something. So that was the thinking behind that. And then I've got some of these frame dies and that for card making. So with the intention of making the Christmas cards soon, then I've got to really get it sorted. I've got a few of these banner dies and that, and again just using the sheets as they are to go in here. I've got set A and set B. Never used these. I suppose I should. Now I've got them sorted out, then I suppose I can use them. Thing is if you don't sort things out, you'll never use them, will you? So yeah. So the other box is like circles and ovals, and this one's squares and rectangles, things like that. So I've got them separated out, sort of. I did start labeling all my dies and that, and then of course, and then this isn't a Sue Wilson die, but and then of course you can't get it off after you've done it. So yeah, I think that's the last one. So as I say, I did start to when I started sorting it. Do you know how long it's taken me to organise these dies? It's taken me several years. It's taken me about 2 years to get organised with my dies, man. And it's only because I went to cheap Chinese shop the other day in Kayapoi, and they had, because I look for these magnetic sheets all the time, and they're so difficult to get hold of because as soon as they stock them, they sell out. So because you have to, they get it in so rarely. As soon as they have it in stock, you got to rush out and buy it. Oh man, yeah, some of these dies are super nice, super nice. So there you go. I need to get out and use my dies more, and with the card making, that's what I'll do. Yeah, they are pretty. So yeah, so and then this, I didn't need this because I got my big shot, but it was on special. So, and you so very rarely get these machines that on special offers. So I thought I got to do it. It had to be done. Oh man, I didn't need it, I just wanted it. That's so bad, isn't it? But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks card making videos again, and I've just been working up a little album that I'll be doing as well. So I've just been working out, the flips, the flops, the flaps, and trying to make it different to other people's, although lots of it will be the same. It's just you try to make it a little bit different. So I've been working out things like that, trying to, just, and it's all very interesting, trying to get it to work together. And yeah, I've spent a couple of evenings going over this, and I want to make them, want to make it big enough to take a proper size photograph, because you see these albums and they've got the little tiny ones, and it's like, well, what do you use that for? And they say, you cut down a photo. Perhaps I don't want to cut down my photos. So I always like to make, the smallest I like to go is 4x5, isn't it? Is it 4x5? 4x5. So I try to, I think it's 4x5. It might be 4x6. I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, what's the point of making these things and then cutting down the photographs to go in it? Why don't you just make it so that you can just put your photographs in it? Oh, you've been sorting your dies too, Roz? Must be because it's spring. We're getting organised. Spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. So yeah, I'm happy to get my camera back up onto a stand, but this one doesn't pull across as much as my other one did. It's got a bar that stops it coming too far, so it shows the base of the lamp as well. So never mind. So never mind. And stamps. My stamps. I've never been able to get my stamps organised. Fail. And then I pulled out that A5 I think, A5 one the other day, and it was all ripped in the corner. Broke my heart. Did break my heart. Hate it when I rip a stamp. But hey, there you go. So that's my little catch up. What you guys been doing apart from Roz, who's been sorting through her dies? What you been doing, Susan? I don't know whether I'll actually do anything because I've just come back from work. Yesterday I came back from work, and what did I do? I had my dinner, and then I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep until this morning. You're buying? Yes, it is springish. That's because it's spring. Spring is sprung. The grass is riz. Are you teaching to drive, Ross? It's actually a beautiful day here today. The wind's still cold, but the sun's out. The sun is out, and we've got a Labour Day on Monday, which is a big bank holiday, and that's the start of my holidays for 2 weeks. Going on a holiday, going travelling the West Coast. You've been making index cards for a YouTube thing. Woohoo! Don't forget to send one my way. Oh. Index cards for a YouTube thing. I could actually do something, couldn't I? But I'm just too tired. The mojo has fled me for the moment because I'm just tired. This doesn't cut my mat. I've got a plastic sheet over here that it's filthy. Once you get the glue and the acrylic paint on there, it doesn't take long for it to go yucky, does it? It's for me, yay! I didn't want to say. Thank you. Are you doing some different techniques? What a nice saying for me, a nice positive affirmation for me. Help lift my spirits. Brighten my day. So yeah, I don't know. Shall I craft? Shan't I craft? I don't really feel in the mood. Looking forward to my holiday on the West Coast. That'll be enough, I think. I might do a couple of videos for when I'm traveling for a couple of weeks. Yeah. I want to take this off, but I know that if I scrape too hard, then I'll be then I will go through the plastic. It's that thing where you can be gentle, and it won't work, and then you rub harder, and then it works, but you ruin whatever it is you're trying to clean. I did actually try some some alcohol ink in the corner of one, and it's kind of melted it, so I won't be doing that again. Alcohol ink. No, sorry, rubbing alcohol. I'm saying alcohol ink, of course, because I was with Kiki the other day, and and she was doing alcohol inks on Yupo, and I want to try it, but I don't want to spend any more money. I got this holiday coming up, so I've just got to not spend, because holiday will be expensive enough. Traveling here with petrol at $2.50 a litre is a little bit difficult. Oh, you're buying the magnetic plates that go on cars for learner drivers. Oh, I see what you mean, for the dies. How much does that cost then, Roz? West coast of New Zealand, yeah. Roz, how much does that cost, a sheet? And what size are they? Tell me now. The Driving Guide to New Zealand. Is it awful that I don't actually know how large the South and North Islands are? Is that really bad? Is that really, really bad? Queenstown is where I used to live. Queenstown to Dunedin. I used to travel all around this area here when we were doing these schools vaccination programs, and I'd be off up there and then that way there. This is where my son's working here in this area here. Can't wait. And the Milford track is great walking tracks they have through the mountains, through the bush. Oh man, I can't wait. That's in the middle of New Zealand. It's not the because I live on the South Island. Not too far from Christchurch. It's great big huge flat areas, flat, and then you get to the mountains. The Canterbury Plains, and man, the wind is just like fearsome sometimes when it comes off the ocean and that. Oxford's a lovely place. I live somewhere up here. Somewhere up here, just right on that coast. Up here on that coast up there. I used to live in Rangiora, but I don't anymore. I live right on the coast now, right there. It's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Banks Peninsula is a peninsula that comes out from Christchurch. And then, of course, you've got the mountain ranges. Picton. Picton is where the ferry from the North Island comes in. The North Island ferry comes into this place here called Picton, so all the traffic has to come down here on State Highway 1. And then comes down the east coast. Doesn't go through the mountain. It does go through the mountains, but not here. It goes through the mountains over here. There aren't that many places to cross over from east to west through the mountains. So yeah, 2 plates for $2. Moeraki. This is Moeraki boulders. They yeah, just like there are loads of places around here that are just like cool. See Fox's Glacier, which is here. The glaciers usually come right down here, but now they've retreated further back, and back up the mountain. And they were, honestly, just a few years ago, they were right down here. And quite often they would come right down to the sea. But now they're right back up in the mountains now. And yeah, if you think there's no global warming, then you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. So yeah, some of the yeah, you come out the mountains and you usually go onto plains. This is the Franz Josef Glacier, and they're saying that it's not there anymore. So I'll find out when I go traveling. So yeah. This is I do a lot of my work here at Christchurch. So I have to travel in from down here up to into Christchurch, or go north, go into Rangiora as well. Sometimes I have to come south, but not very often. It's still South Island. It's beautiful, man. If you've never been to New Zealand, you need to come. You need to come. Well, I was hoping there was a map that would tell me just the total length of the South Island. We're back up to the North Island now, look. So, yeah, okay. Oh, Craig Potton. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So this is the North Island. North Island, which is the fish, the big fish. And the South Island, which is here, is the boat. And this is the anchor. So the tale about how New Zealand was formed is that who was it? The first traveller. I've forgotten his name now. Was it Tane? No, I've forgotten. Oh, for goodness sake, how can I tell you the story if I can't remember his name? So anyway, I live up around here, this area. East Coast, and we're traveling over to the West Coast. But to be honest with you, we're going to be spending most of our time here, traveling down to here. So we're going to be lower West Coast. Your thing is acting up. Coupe, that's it, Coupe. So Coupe came to was traveling the oceans in his boat, which is the South Island. Coupe. I knew it would come to me in the end. And so the South Island is Coupe's boat, and that's the North Island, South Island. And he was decided to put down his anchor and do some fishing. And so he cast his hook into the water, and he struggled for days and days and days with this fish that was on the end of his hook. And just as he was about to give up because it was too much, he gave one last pull on his fishing hook, and he was pulling and pulling and pulling, and he pulled up the biggest fish that he'd ever seen in his life, which was the North Island. Can you see the shape of the fish? This is the mouth, tail, and the fins, and that's how New Zealand came into being. Is that Coupe was out in his boat the one day, and he fished up the North Island out of there. Let's see. 522 miles it is. So the South Island is 522 miles. Yeah, I just looked up on Google. Don't you love Google? Yeah, as you can see, there aren't many routes that go across the mountains from east to west coast. So it's actually from the east coast, it's difficult to get over to the west coast. This is up here. Up here is Picton, is where the ferries come into, and then they either go this way or they go around this way, or they come round, and you can do a little inland route there, or you can do a little inland route here. And I think this is, we used to live in this area here, which is beautiful. This is the Lake Wakatipu, and it's called Wakatip. Locals call it Wakatip instead of Wakatipu. And this is and the Lake Wakatipu has a taniwha, and taniwha is a monster. And the Lake Wakatipu, it's got its taniwha, and you can see it breathing because the lake goes like this. This huge lake here, it breathes. It goes, you know, the water comes out and the water comes back in, and water goes out and the water comes back in. And so that's it's got its own taniwha. And yeah, it's really interesting, and how to see, you know, how these legends and that are formed when you actually see the lake breathing, you know, going out, coming in, going out, coming in. So it's got its own taniwha. But I was going to say this here, you follow these roads here. Sorry, this one here, and the one here from Cromwell over is called the pig route, because that's where they used to drive their pigs or something. So yeah, it's called the pig route. Lovely name for a road, isn't it? And some of these places are really, like my son works here, and to get anywhere he has to drive this route here to get to Queenstown, and then he can take flights to different places. So when I start my holiday next week, I'm going to fly out from Christchurch. We're going to fly over to Queenstown and then pick up a car and then drive here, and then we'd have to come back in before we could drive anywhere else, or we can come down to Invercargill and then come round and round and round. But we're not going to. I think we're going to stay in this area. We may go up to Haast, but we're not sure whether we'll have the time, because it's, you know, several hundred miles, and you have to drive around the mountains and things to get to anywhere. I'm not sure I've got any more stories there. Well, actually, there are loads of stories, but yeah, but we won't go there, huh? Omarama is a lovely place to visit. Mount Cook, obviously, but as you're driving these routes here, they're just stunningly beautiful. They really, really are, and the color of the lakes as well. They're like I've never seen such blue lakes before either, and it's to do with, I don't know, the melting snow or something. It's really, really, really nice. But yeah, can't wait. Of course, this only shows the main centres here. There are lots of other places in between. Well, not lots actually, but there are a few places in between. Usually, when you see the road, the number on the road. Yeah, where I live doesn't even get a mention. So this year, Kaikoura is where they had the most recent big earthquakes in Kaikoura, and they've this was 2 years ago, and they've just managed to get the trains running again now. We've just had notice to say the trains will be running again because we have unmanned rail crossings, and you just got to be wary. We've been so long without a train going up north that going up north or coming south that people have got used to no trains on the tracks. So just got to start being careful again. So there's been a big leaflet drop and things to say that the trains are starting up again, which is good. Kaikoura is a place where they do whale watching, but also in Milford Sound now. I know the whale migration is going past, so we're hoping that when we get the boats out and that go out in a boat, we'll be able to see some whale watching as they go by the sound. I don't know which one is Doubtful Sound. I don't know which one it is. Which one of these will be Doubtful Sound? I have no idea. I'm not well instructed in the geography of the place yet. Yeah, no, I can't be called to work. Yeah, it's the volcanoes on the this was probably once a volcano, but there's a volcano on the North Island that's extinct now. But yeah, this is on a fault line that runs along the island, the South Island, and runs along the North Island as well. You can see runs along the North Island as well. And then of course there's the plates that are in between Australia and New Zealand as well that cause lots of problems too. The what's it plates, which I can't quite remember at the moment. Yeah, your son had lots of holidays there, lots of hiking. There's some beautiful walking to be done in these areas. Absolutely, truly are. So yeah, hiking is a big tramping it's called here, not hiking. Tramping is a big thing in New Zealand. So this is Tane Mahutu, and this is a very, very old tree that lives in the Waipu forests, and it's dying. I think they're saying it's dying now. It's got some kind of disease in it, and that'll be a really big shame when that one goes. It's a big kauri tree, and in the beginning there was Papatuanuku and Rangi, was it Rangi or Big Sky, Father Sky, Mother Earth, Papatuanuku and Rangi. I think it's Rangi or I don't know. So Tane Mahutu is Lord of the Forest, and Tumutu Nari is the Father of the Forest. So I've seen Tane Mahutu. I haven't seen Te Matu Nari. But yeah, I was trying to tell you this story, but I can't remember. I think Rangiora is Father Sky, and Papatuanuku is Mother Earth. And in the beginning, there was Papatuanuku, Mother Earth, and Rangiora, Father Sky, and they loved each other very much. And in the beginning, there was darkness because they loved each other very much and couldn't bear to be separated. And they had 7 children, and one of the 7 children was Tane Mahutu. And Tane loved the light. Sometimes when his Rangiora rolled over, he could see a little chink of light. Now, Tane grew up to be a really, really big, strong child. And the one day he lay on his back, and pushed with all of his might to push his father off his mother so that he and his brothers could play in the light. And he pushed and pushed and pushed. And eventually he separated his father and his mother, and then there was light. But his mother was red raw from this separation, and she used to cry and call on her husband to help her cover up her nakedness. And his father Rangiora used to cry because he couldn't help his Mother Earth, his beautiful wife, to cover her nakedness, but he used to cry and cry and cry, and eventually she was covered with a blanket of green, and this made her very, very happy. So I'm trying desperately to remember the stories that I was told, and I'm not doing them justice, but eventually you see, and that's the reason why New Zealand Earth is red Earth, because of the separation of Rangiora from Papatuanuku, and so Rangiora covered her nakedness with a nice green blanket from his tears, and his wife Papatuanuku was so happy that she was no longer naked, that she wove him a beautiful blanket, and she adorned it with silver stars, and that's the night sky. And so that's how daylight began from the beginning, where there was only darkness, where Mother Earth and Father Sky were together. So, and that's the origins of the day in New Zealand, something like that. The beginning of time from a Maori perspective, but I don't tell it as good as a Maori person would, and I apologise for that, because these stories were told to me when I first came to New Zealand a long time ago, and my memory is not as good as it once was. So anyway, I apologise to any Maori people who are listening in, and but I'm pretty sure that it's Papatuanuku who is Mother Earth, and Rangiora who is Father Sky. And I know that Tane Mahutu was the strong son who was the one that separated them out, and he lay on his back and pushed with all his might to push them apart. And that's why the kauri tree grows big and strong, and it's like an upside down tree with all of its roots spread up, and a very small thing attaching it to the earth, which is why they topple over so often, and that, which is really why Tane Mahutu in the forest there manages. It's such a great thing that it's managed to survive all this time. So if any of you understood that, I'm not a great storyteller because my memory is poor. Sorry, that's my hums on the desk. Lake Wanaka is a beautiful place too, and I've done from Wanaka here. I've actually run a marathon over the mountains to Queenstown. So yeah, from here, from here out this side over the mountains into Queenstown. Nice. I've done the mountain marathon twice now, and it's quite a thing to get through. Anywho, I think I shall leave you with that because I've not a very good storyteller at all, and probably someone will correct me on that if I remembered it incorrectly. So yeah. So I think I've got to go now, and I'm going to say goodbye because I don't feel like crafting, and this isn't a. If I was a better storyteller, I'd tell you more stories. So I'm going to say bye now, and see you again soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me.